On page 6 of the manual, you will notice there are optional accessories for the serger. Now there's not a lot, but these feet will definitely help you through a variety of techniques. Now there's two of them that I don't actually have right here to show you, so we will do videos on them and pop them into the playlist a little bit later. The first one's the elastic foot. This foot is and has the ability to run elastic through the front, and this screw here adjusts how tight or how stretched the elastic is placed. So if you're doing any type of aerobic wear or elastic along the outside of a crib sheet, this foot is used with the 4-thread overlock, great to use with the serger. Now the blind hem and lace foot looks like this. This has adjustable guide, which would allow you to work with a wide 3-thread and let you sit the fabric for, say, for example, a blind hem, and run it so the needle catches just next to the fold of your fabric. This is also a great way to guide lace with a flat lock and let the lace then flip out, flatten down, and be at the edge of your fabric. The next one, a beading foot. This beading foot has the ability to take a string of beads, put them down through the opening, which can be adjusted, open or closed, and then there's a tunnel out the back. By having the tunnel, that will keep your upper looper coming over the beads and making sure that it stays away from the knife so they don't get cut. Now what's really nice about this is if you use clear thread in your upper looper, you won't even see it, but do adjust your stitch length so that each stitch or each bead has 1 stitch per bead. So this would be a good 3 to 4 millimeters long, and it'll really look nice. If you don't want to use clear thread, just go ahead and use a matching thread to your beads or pearls that you've selected. Another one, sequins, is a great one to use with this foot, and you can run those right down through the groove as well. The next one is a piping foot. Here we go. Our piping foot has a tunnel or groove underneath. Now this isn't a really big piping, but it sure is nice when you can serge this and put a overlocked edge along the piping that you're doing, especially because you'll be using a bias cut piece of strip to cover your piping or cording, whatever you want to call it, and then you can also use this foot to assemble it as well. So piping foot is available. Taping foot. A taping foot is known to help place like a stay stitching tape that would help prevent seams from stretching, and so definitely good for stabilizing shoulder seams and keep that guided right underneath any 4-thread construction seam. So it does it all in one swoop. Now there is, let's see here, our next one is, where'd it go? I just had it. Here it is, the corded wavy edge foot. Now this is a fancy name for what I call a ability to put wired edges or make your own French ribbon. So wire or very heavy fishing line, like a 25-pound test, would go right down through that hole, keeping it separated from the knife and be guided right out the back side here. Set up your serger for a 3-thread narrow rolled hem, and that wire or fishing line will get laid right down the middle of the threads, and it makes it for a very bendable or stretched and wavy edge, kind of like how the picture is showing here. My absolute favorite is the gathering foot. That's the other one we are sold out of at this time. It is our most popular foot for the serger. What it does is it allows you to gather fabric, lightweight fabrics. You can gather it one of 2 ways. You can run the fabric underneath the foot, set your differential feed to 2 and your stitch length to 4. If you need to gather it more, you're going to increase the top, your 2 needle tensions to their highest number. But because of this little mouth here, you can gather 1 piece of fabric while the top piece stays non-gathered. So that means you can gather a piece to a base fabric. And just do a test run and get your settings right for how much ratio you are going to plan for. Lightweight fabrics, you can get up to a 2-to-1 ratio, and a gathering foot cuts off the edge, overlocks it, seams it all at once, and gathers it. So that's why the gathering foot is the first one most people buy for their brand new serger. There's one more foot that is not in this book, but notice that we had it. It's a clear cover stitch foot. So it's going to be easy to see where you are guiding your fabric when you're actually doing the cover stitch, and with the red line keeping the fold of the fabric nicely centered for where you are guiding it. Really lets you see where you're going.